At that moment, no one knew that 21-year-old Milan would learn that his family had been using him for years not as a son, but as a mask. Milan Boss was always known as that kid. A scholarship student in the communications faculty at university, top of his class, his family's pride. The name always highlighted in his mother's WhatsApp statuses, at his father's business dinners, at family gatherings. Milan came first again. Milan won an award again. Milan is our everything. But something inside Milan had long since cracked. Every morning when he looked in the mirror, he no longer knew whose face he was seeing. Was it the perfect Milan his family wanted to see, or the real Milan who was silently drowning? That day, everything changed. Milan was preparing a project in the university library. His phone vibrated. His mother was calling. "Milan, can you come home early today? Relatives are coming, you need to be there." The same sentence again. The same duty again. Be in the showcase. Okay, Mom. He hung up the phone. He brought his hands to his face. He tried to breathe. These panic attacks had been getting more frequent lately. But he couldn't tell anyone. Because Milan Boss didn't have problems. When he arrived home, the living room was full. Uncles, aunts, cousins. Everyone was talking about Milan's achievements. He just smiled and said thank you. A voice inside him was screaming, "I'm not here. I'm not a project for you." But he didn't speak up. But he didn't know the real truth yet. After the guests left, Milan went up to his room. He lay on his bed. The ceiling was empty but his head was crowded. His father knocked on the door. "Milan, come here." They went to the study. The desk was in chaos. Documents, files, old photographs. "Our 25th wedding anniversary is coming up. Your mother and I want to have a celebration with you. Maybe you can prepare a speech too." Milan nodded. His father continued. "You know, son, we owe you so much. You are our pride." Milan paused for a moment. "Oh? Pride? What do you mean, Dad?" His father averted his eyes. He ignored the question. "Get ready, it's going to be a big celebration." The next day Milan was home again. His mother had gone shopping. His father was at work. He was alone. He entered the study. The computer was on. A folder caught his eye. "Old documents, do not open." Milan's heart raced. He moved the mouse cursor to the folder. He clicked. Inside were dozens of documents. Newspaper clippings, court decisions, old photographs. He opened one. Headline: Family accused in child abuse case disappears without a trace, 2003. His breath caught. In the photo were his mother and father. But their younger selves. In a courtroom. Their faces weren't clear but their names could be read. The Vos family is accused of abuse allegations in the small town of Neerdijk in northern Netherlands. However, the family left the town during the trial. Their traces were lost. Milan stepped back. The chair fell over. His eyes blurred. This was the moment when everything turned upside down. The door opened. His mother came in. She saw Milan alone with the documents. Her face went white as a sheet. Milan. What is this, Mom? Silence. What is this? His mother started crying. But the tears seemed fake to Milan. Because this time they were tears of fear. Of being caught. Son, you can't understand. What don't I understand? You hid who you were from me? We were young and stupid back then. We met the wrong people. But we're not guilty, Milan. We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Milan shook his head. But you ran away. You covered your tracks. You built a new life. And me, you used me as the clean face of this new life, didn't you? His mother couldn't answer. Wait a minute, no one noticed this detail. Milan didn't leave the house for 3 days. He didn't go to classes. He turned off his phones. He just read the documents. With each page, a new truth was revealed. Was his family guilty? Weren't they? They had fled before the court made a final decision. Their names hadn't been cleared, but they hadn't gone to prison either. They were in a gray area. And Milan. Milan was a tool created to make them look clean. His father knocked on the door. Milan. We need to talk. He sat across from him. His eyes were tired, his face had collapsed. We love you, son. We did everything for you. For me? Or for yourselves? Silence. Am I here to cover your sins, Dad? No, Milan. You were our hope. A new beginning. While raising you, we tried to do everything right. We gave you a good life. But you didn't give me a choice. I never thought about whether I wanted to be Milan Voss. Because I always had to be your Milan. What you knew until now was just his showcase. Milan didn't talk to his family for a week. His mother's eyes were always bright red. His father had become silent. One night Milan came down to the living room. They were both watching television. I've made a decision. They both turned. I want to learn the truth. I'm going to the town of Nirdik. I'm going to find out what happened back then, what you did. His mother jumped up. Don't do it, Milan. Don't stir things up there. Those people still remember us. They'll recognize you too. Good. Maybe I'll recognize myself too. Milan got on the train. Nirdik was a small town. When he got off at the train station, it was as if he had stepped into the past. He found their old house. The door was locked, but he looked inside through the window. It was completely empty. He talked to a neighbor. She was an elderly woman. The Voss family? Of course I remember. It was talked about a lot back then. But the real truth never came out. What do you mean? The accusers, they were lying. But when your family ran away, everyone assumed they were guilty. The truth was never explained. No one investigated. Only gossip remained. Milan's world shook. The most shameful secret had not yet been revealed. When Milan returned home, everything had become clear. His family was innocent. But they had run away. And that escape had made them look guilty. And they had lived their entire lives under that shadow. And Milan had been used to erase that shadow. He entered the living room. They were both sitting. I talked to people in Nirdik. They both waited. You were innocent. But you ran away. Why didn't you defend yourselves? His father bowed his head. Because we were afraid, Milan. Everyone was looking at us. Gossip was spreading. We didn't have money for a lawyer. Running away seemed easier. And you created me. A perfect son. So everyone would forget the Voss family, they would only see successful Milan. His mother cried. We're sorry, son. But we really love you. Milan took a breath. I know. But love is not pressure. Love is not a mask. Milan left home that day. He moved to an apartment near the university. He had his scholarship, he could work. He was no longer in the showcase. He still talked to his family. But he was no longer Milan Voss, the family's pride. He was just Milan. When he looked in the mirror, he now saw his own face. Everyone had learned the truth, but the biggest shock was inside Milan. Because he had forgiven his family. But forgiving himself would be harder. Milan's story teaches us this. Love is not control. Families sometimes see their children as extensions of themselves, even with the best intentions. But every person must be free to find their own identity. If you too are carrying a mask in your life, if you too are losing yourself to make others happy, stop. Take a breath. And ask. Is this me, or is this the me they expect? True freedom doesn't start after being loved, it starts after loving yourself.